Commitment. Commitment. That is what I want us to think about and talk about on this week's episode of Minutes with MinistaMike. Commitment. When you think about the word commitment, I want you to think about the word devotion. And I want you to ask yourself critically this week, what am I devoted to? What am I devoted to? When you hear the word devotion, most times we hear it from the religious connotation, and that is good. That is good. When you go to church or a mosque, you say you are devoted to God. That means you are committed to your spirituality, and that is part of life that I want you also to take seriously. But this week, I want you to also religiously think about this. What are you devoted to? Apart from the church, apart from the mosque, apart from whatever social group that you find yourself, I want you to ask yourself, what are you religiously committed to? Are you serving yourself in devotion, in absolute reverence? Are you serving yourself? Because when we think about devotion religiously in terms of our spirituality, we think about reverence. Do you even revere yourself? Do you revere yourself? Do you respect yourself enough to be committed to your growth? Do you respect yourself enough to be committed to your breakthrough? Do you respect yourself enough to be committed to your financial success? Do you respect yourself enough to be committed to your work? And also, when you think about commitment, I want you to think about dedication. You know, when you give birth in the religious and Christian circle, you take the child to church to be dedicated. It's like you are giving the child over to this God that you serve. Do you understand me? So, what are you dedicated to? What have you given yourself over to? Excuses or action? Excuses or determination? What have you given yourself over to? Gossips or brainstorming? What have you given yourself over to? Worry or peace? What have you given yourself over to? Commitment to excellence or mediocrity? So I want you to ask yourself over and over and over again, because that is the hallmark of Minutes with MinistaMike. We will just take a word in a week and we start thinking about it. What are we going to do different whenever we hear this word? So when you hear the word commitment, I want you to hear the word dedication. What have you given yourself over to? Come and think about it for a minute. What are you dedicated to? When you check your life, when we audit your growth, when we audit all of the things that is called you, what have you dedicated yourself to? You will never get a result that is higher than your dedication. Do you understand me? You will never get any result in your life. Whatever you're looking for is on the other side of commitment. It's on the other side of devotion. It's on the other side of dedication. Another word I want you to think about is responsibility. When people think about commitment, most often they don't think about responsibility. They only think about it in the work version, hard work. I'm committed to this or to that. But I want you to spin it a little bit and say, what are you responsible for? What ability do you have to respond to the situation in your life? You have a problem. Good. Are you responsible enough to find a solution to the problem? That is what commitment is all about. Are you committed to solving the problem, or you are committed to making excuses for yourself? I want you to think about commitment from the angle of responsibility. What responsibility do you have to your parents? What responsibility do you have to your children? What responsibility do you have to your work? What responsibility do you have to your colleagues at work? Think about it. I want you to think about commitment from the angle of responsibility. What is responsibility? What are you responsible for? Responsibility, sometimes we define it as the ability to respond. So, what is your ability? Do you have the ability to respond to any situation in your life? Calm and collected, looking into yourself that you will always find a solution. When you think about the word commitment, we think about loyalty, we think about allegiance, we think about bond, and finally, we think about attentiveness. Are you attentive to your soul? Are you attentive to your spirit? Are you attentive to the calling of life upon you? Are you attentive to your mind? Whatever your mind and your soul or your instinct is telling you, are you committed to yourself enough to be loyal to you, to be bonded to you? Your spirit, your soul, your body, they are bonded together. Are you committed? I want you to think about all this when you think about the word commitment, attentiveness, loyalty, bond, allegiance. Who have you pledged allegiance to? Yourself or other people? Have you given yourself over to other people that you find little to no time for yourself? Think about it when you think about the word commitment. And we will talk together. We will talk again next week. Bye for now.